Boulder is a place that, for me, in many ways, feels like I'm always experiencing it for the first time, despite having lived here for over 10 years. And that is so magical. What's up, guys? It's Chris. It is a beautiful summer day here in Boulder, Colorado, and today I am so excited to show you around this wonderful city. We're gonna go to the parks, the trails, we're gonna go downtown, we're gonna talk about the views, we're gonna talk about life. Guys and gals, if you really want to know what it's like to live in Boulder, to enjoy the lifestyle on a beautiful summer weekend, this is the video for you. And as always, my friends, if you plan on moving to Boulder or the surrounding area and want to work with me or one of my amazing colleagues at the downtown Boulder Sotheby's office, I'll leave my email in the description below. I've heard from many of you already, and I am so excited to hear from many, many more. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. Let's get started. All right, guys, we are here starting off at Viele Lake in South Boulder. I want you to just look at this. Bro, is that not the most majestic thing you've ever seen? Oh my goodness. The light is spilling through the trees onto the lake, onto the grass. Oh my God, it is like the most beautiful Boulder summer morning. You'd think I'd never have lived here, but it's like, oh my goodness. First of all, I don't get out of the office that much, but second of all, like, this stuff does truly not get old living here. I'm gonna walk around. I wanna get onto the bridge and show you guys the view, but it's just like a Sunday morning at 7 a.m. here. It's like really chill, really quiet. We'll go down to Pearl Street a little bit later, I think, and we'll see kind of a little more hustle and bustle. This part of South Boulder, you know, home prices are like $1 to $2 million. Pretty average homes, a lot of them built like in the 1960s, 70s, so a lot of like bi-levels, tri-levels. And although the neighborhood is kind of like picking up, there's a lot of like renovations. I wouldn't call it suburban quite, but it has, you know, it's probably the closest thing to suburban that Boulder can get, one of the closest. Really chill community, a lot of outdoors people tend to live here because you have such close proximity to South Boulder trails like NCAR and Bear Mountain. And then you of course have like this great, wonderful park here. People always walking their dogs. They're like, oftentimes there'll be like college students. There's some like a fair amount of like grad student, kind of older renters around here. So there's also a rec center over there, and they have like a bunch of tennis, pickleball courts, soccer fields, things like that. So it's just a really great, it's called Harlow Platts Community Park. So it's a really great just like community area with the lake. Dude, look at this. Do you see that? Look at the sun shining off the lake. Oh my God. It's so pretty. You've got like a little gaggle, I think it's called, of geese over there that hang out every morning, poop everywhere. But yeah, it's really quaint. I personally, I've talked about this in the past. I really like South Boulder specifically because it's really quaint and it's like not super dense. Like North Boulder can get pretty dense. Central Boulder, of course, too. And for me, I like that. I like a more quieter, you know, pace of life. I like to get up and not really hear anything, cars driving around or anything like that. And, you know, you see neighbors out walking their dogs, hanging out. Like it's a very, it feels like a very communal neighborhood. And then Viele Lake is also just like personally one of my favorite places. This is like my favorite park in Boulder in general, probably. And then you've got, of course, like schools are big in South Boulder, right? So you've got Bear Creek Elementary, that's super hot. To quote a coworker of mine, those homes always sell like hotcakes, is his expression, which they do. And then right up here, you've actually got Fairview High, super like highly coveted high school. Actually, you like can't see it because it's covered by trees, but that prison-looking complex up there, that's a high school. And actually like basically the most coveted high school probably in the entire region. It's just really nice. Obviously, I mean, you can see it's like a resort basically. Like you imagine being a student, you get out of school, you walk down, there's little like trails on that hill. They walk down, come hang out by the lake. A lot of people will live here just for the schools, right? That's like a big draw. You can see the view of the lake is so pretty. But let me show you the real view, right? That's not even the good stuff. Here's the good stuff. Bang! Is that something or what? So those are the Flatirons over there on the right, and then on the left, that's Bear Peak way up there. So you can actually go up there. There's a trail that takes you up there. You know, I don't get out of the office a whole lot these days lately, but sometimes I'll come here, especially even just when I'm filming like days like this, and you know, you look out and you see something like that, and it's like, you just kind of think about how every day is a blessing, you know? Like to be able to wake up and see that, you know? I've been here for over a decade, and I'm someone who, like, things get old for me, okay? I'm kind of constantly moving, but that view still feels the same way now as when I first saw it over 10 years ago, when I just visited this place to see you, the school, which I went to. I mean, it's truly just like something you kids, it's something that's so incredible. It's so special. It's like the most beautiful painting ever, you know? You can just sit and watch that and just never get tired of it. You know, that's why there's benches everywhere in Boulder. You just sit, people just sit and look at the mountains, and you could just do that for a couple hours, and that's a good way to spend a couple hours, man. But that's South Boulder, that's Viele Lake. Let's head on to our next spot, which I don't know what that is, but I'll just kind of decide while I'm driving. Something I also don't really like think about too often, but I'm thinking about it now because I'm like kind of driving slow. It's a Sunday morning, I'm just chilling, but like Boulder is such a beautiful place to drive through. You know, it's like, I'm like kind of in like specifically driving slow just because like all the plants, all the shrubbery, like I don't know, like it's just, and then the mountain, oh my, just turned a corner, the bloody mountain appeared. It's like, it's just so pretty. And it's so nice driving this summer too, because all the students are gone, which is a third of the population of the entire city. So like it's really slow and chill, and like there's not a whole lot of traffic's not too bad, anything like that, you know. May this moment last forever. You and I are gonna do this together. Hold your head up, cause you know that we'll make it. Nothing in my way can stop this or break it. May this moment last forever. You and I are gonna do this together. Hold your head up, cause you know that we'll make it. Nothing in my way can stop this or break it. So right now, you should be able to see it. We're passing the NOAA and NIST facilities. That land was bought like a really long time ago, and there's a funny story where originally like the scientists that came out were from the East Coast, and the East Coast was very like, that's where all the high science was done, like the highest tech stuff and newest methodologies. And they came out here, and the scientists were like shocked because everything was so like Stone Age out here when they first came out here. I want to say that was like the mid 1900s, but pretty funny. And then there's a new high school being built right here. We're right across from CU campus. Oh my gosh, that's a place we should go. We should go hang out on the campus for a little bit. I love walking around the campus. Maybe we'll do that today. Maybe we'll do that like tomorrow or something. So this is all like student housing, apartments and stuff. Some fraternity, sorority. That's an elementary school right there, but we're about to come across some like fraternities and sororities. These big, you can see there's kind of like old brick buildings. Well, that was a close one, wasn't it? Oh my goodness. All right, we're back. It's okay. Everything's okay. Are you okay, buddy? I caught you. Don't worry. So right now we're on the hill. We just passed through like the college portion of the hill, and now this is like some student residential. The hill actually kind of transitions from student like party residential to like proper like occupant residential. And which makes for a funny kind of crossover, because it just sort of seamlessly like blends from, you know, kind of rundown crappy party houses to like some of the nicer homes on, you know, in the city. Because of course we're coming up to, I decided we're gonna go to Chautauqua. And Chautauqua is obviously very desirable. People want to live there, so, you know, very expensive homes tend to be around here. So it's called the Hill, of course, because it is literally, as you can tell, a giant hill. Again, lots of greenery. That's what's nice about Boulder, and part of what makes it like a little bit cooler is I actually had someone, a client, do a showing recently, and they asked, they're like, why is there all these trees everywhere? Like, they kind of block the view, don't they? And I told them, I'm like, well, like, kind of, yes, but the thing is that the trees, all this greenery, cools down the entire region. So, you know, if all these trees weren't in Boulder, this place would be a desert. It would be hotter than, I mean, it'd basically be Arizona, you know? Not just the shade, but they just ambiently provide cooling to the entire area. And we could be together, baby. The summer skies are blue. We're here. All right, so we are here at Chautauqua. I decided to come here because I wanted to, number one, get here before the sun started blasting too much, since we're kind of just out in the open sun. So we'll go to Pearl next, and also to refill my water bottle. And I forgot that you have to pay to park on Sundays in the summer, so I had to pay $2.95 to park here for an hour. So don't ever say I don't do anything for you guys. Actually, if you guys, I'll give you a little tip. I'll show you this at some point, but if you're ever coming to Boulder, if you're gonna try to park up here at Chautauqua, any time that isn't like early morning on a weekday, you should park on 10th Street, because not only will you not have to pay, but even on weekdays you don't have to pay. You won't have to play like musical cars. See this guy? He's gonna be driving around this entire like loop. Actually, never mind, he just parked, that's awkward. But usually, it's also early on a Sunday, but usually you have to like drive around the entire loop. Like, parking is impossible. But if you park on 10th Street, that's the closest street that you can park to the trailhead that is free. And what's really nice about 10th Street too is you can park right at the top. It's shaded so your car won't get blasted when you come back to it. And it's like really not that far. I mean, you'll spend more time like driving around trying to find parking than you will just parking on 10th Street and walking over. It's like a 60-second walk. But anyway, so this is a trailhead. You can see there's like a little building up here. It has like information in it and all that, just like a little trailhead building. There's actually a park. I'll kind of like just briefly show you guys. It's so wonderful. And there's always, again, it's Sunday early, so like it's kind of quiet, but there's almost always like kids out here. They're like doing whatever. People like play a little pickup game of soccer or something. I mean, it's just a really nice little community area. Again, you know, you have all this residential right here, so a lot of families will just kind of hang out here. Obviously see people early morning kind of trail running, very Boulder thing to do. I myself do it as well. So they probably just came down from the trail. The parking situation extends. There's this road that goes up here and it extends all the way, loops around and goes down and connects back over here. Kind of see a little map. Let's go hang out up here at the trailhead for a minute. I'll tell you guys about Chautauqua. You can see kind of how expansive the mountain range view is, right? You can kind of just get angles of it from everywhere in town. See those little doggies? Hi, buddy. So people are always kind of just hanging out here, preparing to go to the trail. Sometimes people just hang out and sit around and look at the mountains too. There's a guy out here the other day who's just sitting there, and I came down from a trail and he was just sitting there looking at the mountains, and I told him, like, man, that ain't a bad day to be just sitting around staring at the view. And he was like, yep. And I just thought that I had to go, but I thought in that moment, I'm like, man, that guy is having, like, what a great way to spend your day, is literally just sitting in the shade looking at this view that I keep talking about but not showing you. So let's give you the big reveal. I've got the wide angle lens on now, so it kind of stretches out the image. I'll show you some B-roll. But, dude, just look at that. Is that not crazy? I know. You know, I feel awkward. Sometimes I just sort of pause, but it's like I'm not pausing for dramatic effect. I'm pausing because it's like that's what happens when you look at that. You just sort of get pulled into it like a painting or something, you know? It just captures you. I wish I could bring you here. I can't. I'm pretty good at my cinematography now, but I can't. I wish I could give you the feeling that I have when I look at that, you know? So anyways, there's porta potties here. I mean, it's a pretty standard like trailhead. There's like, you can see that girl just went up. There's like maps and stuff that kind of show you all the trails. You can't quite see it. You can maybe see some dudes like walking up there. There's a little landing up there where you can actually see over like this whole area before you get up into the forest where like the view kind of gets obscured. And especially in the morning when the sun's rising, oh my God. If you guys are visiting, I'm telling you, okay, I'm telling you, you have to come out and do this trail like early morning, like 6 a.m. Get here and walk up. I promise you. I know it's like kind of a pain. You're visiting, you probably traveled, it's early, but like it's honestly one of the most magnificent things I ever get to see. And it's like in town. It's like 5 minutes away. Isn't that crazy? Like this is why people wonder why Boulder's so expensive. This is why. I mean, this is like I'm guys, I'm like working because I'm filming, so I'm like not totally soaking things in, but like just to give you some perspective, like that's how amazing this stuff is I can be working making this video and I'm still having a great time. Like this is still way better way I'd rather spend my day than sitting inside, you know? So I'm gonna refill my water and then we're gonna go. Hey, buddy. Bro, I'm telling you, Boulder water is something else, man. If you go to like Westminster or Denver or anywhere, the water tastes like fuzzy. Like the water in Boulder is like crystalline. It's weird. It's so good. It's so clear. It's so refreshing. And it's like weird. You'd think that's like something people say, but isn't actually true. Like, oh, that like crisp mountain water or whatever. But it's true. Anyways, so that's Chautauqua. Okay, let's go to Pearl Street. Also, another quick tip. That water fountain you may have noticed up there at the trailhead, that's a little bit newer. They installed that not too long ago. It used to be a more conventional water fountain, but something people always get confused by is that handle. You have to hold it down for like literally like 15 seconds before the water runs. And a lot of people, they hold it down, they expect it to just like shoot out water immediately, but you have to hold it down for like 15 seconds. A lot of people get really confused by that. They need to like put up a sign saying to hold it down. So that's your Boulder local tip. Here's another one, guys, is wear sunscreen out here, okay? I'm so not kidding about this, okay? The sun at UV at altitude is crazy. It's really, really bad. So like even if you're from Florida or somewhere really sunny, California, like wear sunscreen out here. Seriously, don't mess around. I used to use Blue Lizard, but Blue Lizard got bought by like a private equity company and it's really bad now. I use this stuff, Bondi Sands. This is Australian. Really, this stuff is great. I like wear this on my hikes and stuff. It's actually still applies really thin, but it's a little thicker. Obviously, if you're looking for just like a facial sunscreen, like Korean or Japanese sunscreens are really good too, just like as a daily thing to put on your face if you don't want to have like a thick white stuff on your face like every day. Japanese sunscreens are really, really thin and like go on really thin, and they're really easy to put on in the morning. You don't feel gross, but you're still getting that sun protection. So I'm serious about that. Like make sure you do that, especially if you're going to like actually spend a lot of time out in the sun, like going on a hike or something. So we're starting off downtown here. We are in downtown Boulder. We've actually got, you can see, that's our office right there, the Live Sotheby's office right there on the corner of Walnut. And you got the Rio, pretty long-standing Mexican place right there. We're right outside the Spotted James, previously the Walrus, or AKA the New Walrus. It's kind of like a divey, like college bar. And if you guys are moving here, let me know. I'll get you hooked up. That's actually, you can work with me. I'm pretty busy these days, so like if my schedule's open, you work with me. But you can work with one of my partners at Sotheby's as well. They're a bunch of ballers. They're great. They'll take care of you. It's our thing. We're just gonna take a little walk down Pearl here. Parking's free on Sundays, which is pretty cool. This just opened up. I've actually not been here yet. This is Pasta Press. And they do Italian pasta. You can eat pasta here. It's kind of like fast casual, but you can also, I'm pretty sure you can buy pasta like that's freshly made that you can take home and make for dinner, which is pretty cool. Fjallraven, this has been around forever, will be around forever. Man, sorry, I don't know if I seem weird right now. I'm just having a really good time. Like, again, I've been working a lot lately this past year, helping a lot of people. A lot of you guys have reached out, which is awesome. I've actually been really, really enjoying working with a lot of you. Yeah, the times I do get out, usually it's not early morning like this, and it's so peaceful, so nice. So this is West Pearl, right? And there's a big, if you move here, you'll find out about it. The big controversy was that West Pearl was actually closed down during COVID, this whole street, and it was turned into basically like just an extension of the pedestrian mall, and it was amazing. People loved it. I loved it. Everyone loved it. There was more outdoor dining, which you can kind of see the remnants of. They kept some of the extension, but they then reopened it, and this caused a really big fuss because no one wanted it reopened. It was like such a great extension, and it's like, it's only like a few dozen parking spots. It's not like it's really, you know, changing a whole lot to eliminate that. But there's like, it's really complicated because, you know, people want the extended outdoor dining, but the restaurants, it's hard for them to handle it. And there's tax, like it's a whole thing. Personally, I think it shouldn't be open, but you know, whatever. Wow, just look at this. Look at all the way the light's beautifully pouring in. That's Pearl Street. It's really nice little like garden area. There's like flower beds. Obviously Pearl Street goes down like a few blocks, but there's really nice flower beds everywhere. Little shops and stores. This is the pub. Again, one of these places that have been around forever, probably will be around forever. Kind of like divey bar to go get pool, drink beer. You've got the Boulder bookstore over there. Similar kind of Boulder icon. It's nice to still see those around. Obviously, a lot of those have kind of shuttered, especially on Pearl Street with COVID. Like, we had a huge wave of shutdowns. And to be honest, Pearl Street is still, I think we're like almost back, but we're like still kind of recovering from that big shutdown. This part of Pearl, this western side of Pearl is pretty good. On the more eastern end of the mall, there's still like kind of some buildings that are vacant. So it's you know, it's rough. It's hard for the businesses. You know, commercial rent is so expensive here on Pearl. It's hard to make it as a business owner. I mean, you really have to have a special product. I mean, how many dozens, so probably well over 100 options people have to walk into, go out, right? There's a store, Perla, that's been around for a little bit. That's closing right now. You can see signs on the door. I'll maybe come by another time and show you guys a little more hustle and bustle. But today, it's like really peaceful. It's actually surprising. I thought there'd be more people out on Sunday morning, but I guess it's still a little early. What is it? It's 8:25, so yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff still isn't open yet. Looks like Häagen-Dazs is open though if you want to get ice cream at 8:25 in the morning, which I actually do and would do right now, but I'm on a cut, which is like, for those of you who don't know, it's a period where you diet in a calorie deficit to lose a lot of fat after a bulk, which is a period of calorie surplus where you gain a lot of muscle. It's like a bodybuilding thing. So I'm really strict. I've only got like 3 days left of my cut, so I can't have ice cream today. But I might come by and have ice cream with you in a few days at the end of my cut, because I think that'd be really cool. That'd be a cool way to end the video, just have ice cream together, chat a little bit. You'll probably hear me talk a lot already. See, there's like little history things like this here. We're gonna go to the Central Strip. That's where I really wanna go. Ooh, there's a little chocolate place here, the Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. You see they've got all sorts of, obviously it's a chocolate place. Hello. But you've got all sorts of like treats and stuff in here. You can't really see inside now because it's closed, but they've got like ice cream related stuff too. Obviously nice for the warm weather. I kind of think of the heart of the Pearl Strip being that west end that we just came from, but this is the more like proper heart where the courthouse is, the fountain. There's usually like street performers here. Crowds kind of gather. There's like food carts and stuff like that hanging out here. Now it looks pretty dead right now. I'm not giving you a good image. So maybe, oh, I know what to do. When we get ice cream, I'll come back. That's what I'll do when we do ice cream. So this is a courthouse. We've got fountain, statues, stuff like that. Again, a place people will gather, kids will gather, just kind of hang out. Falafel King, that's it. These guys have been in business for, I want to say 25 years. It's been a while. Even on a Sunday morning when it's super chill, it's really nice to hang out. Like, you've got couples walking around, a couple people just hanging around, and like, it's really quaint, really quiet, even with the shops closed. It's really a nice time to just like enjoy the more subtle aspects of Pearl, like the flower beds, like all the red brick everywhere. You can just kind of enjoy these, like the design of the whole strip, right? The statues, there's like artwork kind of all around, almost hidden in plain sight a little bit. All right, we are here at the beautiful, the wonderful, the illustrious North Boulder Park. Probably my favorite. I think I said Viele Lake was my favorite park. I take that back. This is my favorite park. And oh my goodness, do I even need to tell you why? North Boulder Park, we're here in the center of the Newlands neighborhood, which I'll tell you about in a moment. But this park is basically just a giant rectangular tract of land up in North Boulder. And, it's just a wide open space. There's people here. You can see people are out playing with their dogs. They'll set up like soccer and stuff over there. Sometimes there'll be music. They'll have like music events in this giant space. There's a playground just off camera. And my favorite thing to do in North Boulder Park is actually exactly what I'm doing right now, which is just sit under a tree in the shade and soak in the view that you can all see as well. Again, something that I wish you were here. I wish you could experience just what it's like to sit and watch this. Right now, the Newlands neighborhood, I'll tell you guys about it, is actually really nice. It's probably like one of the coziest, most like Boulder charm neighborhoods that we have in the city. It's hard to say exactly why that is. Part of it is because the homes in general are older and go back to like the mid 1900s, early 1900s. Because the homes have been here for a long time, they've gone through more iterations of people living there, renovating them. They kind of take on their own character, their own color. And so I think that's part of the charm, but I think there's something even more to it. The park is definitely a big one, right? Because the whole neighborhood is basically centered around this park. So people are out here in the morning, on the weekends, with their kids, with their dogs, you know, with each other, playing, you know, little pickup sports and stuff. Like, it really grounds the whole neighborhood. I find this to be a really great sort of like family-friendly neighborhood as Newlands. It's definitely a little more expensive, right? I'm saying all these nice things about it and kind of get the idea. You can find stuff in the like $1 to $2 million range, but a lot of homes here will run up to like $3-4 million. When you're along 3rd Street, right up against the mountain, those can go up even up to like 10 million, but a lot of like 5, 6s. It's also when you get over on the west side of Newlands, it's built like basically on a hill because it's built into the slope of the mountain, right? The topography itself really gives it its own character. Very intimate neighborhood, very quiet. Aside from just these streets here that are a little closer to Broadway, which is a main north-south street, people aren't really driving up around like West Newlands. It's, you know, anyone who's driving around here, hanging around here is usually a resident of the neighborhood. So yeah, I mean, this is probably, sorry, I should be facing you, but I'm gonna face the mountain, okay? So you're gonna watch with me. This is probably my single favorite viewpoint of the Flatirons. Like, there's something about how the light hits the mountain and all the trees. It's, you know, I talk a lot about South Boulder views, which in general I do like more, because North Boulder, it's just like the views aren't great in general, outside of this one specific cleared area. But this one specific cleared area does have my single favorite viewpoint, I think, of the mountain. Oh my gosh, a little squirrel running around. I actually have a hike later today, so that big old pointy rock you see, that's the first Flatiron. I'm going to be right on top of that a little bit later today. You know, I could just sit here forever, but I think it's time to... We've got magpies. There's magpies flying around too. Pretty little birds. This is definitely, guys, if you're visiting Boulder, I strongly suggest you hang out at this park. Again, it's not like a super iconic or unique facet of Boulder, but it's one of those places where, like, if you live here, you're probably going to come spend time here with your kids or whatever, no matter where you live in Boulder. You know, I think when we talk about, like, when people think of the Boulder experience, a big part of that experience is doing that. It's just sitting under a tree and, like, in, you know, maybe with a loved one or a pet or whoever, or by yourself, and just soaking in this view. You know, I mean, that is such a Boulder moment, you know, is just sitting and looking at this great beautiful mountain that we all come here to call home. By the way, I know the hair, look, we've all had bad hair days, okay? The barber, I told him to do one thing, they didn't do it. It's a whole thing. It's fine, okay? It's fine. Don't judge me, it's fine. All right, so before we go downtown, I actually wanted to stop here at Eben G. Fine Park, which is where we're at now. This is really like the place to come cool off. This is probably one of the parks with like the most shade, and then most importantly, just off frame over there, you have Boulder Creek. So the ground here is always like kind of moist, and so that kind of ambiently cools the entire area. Obviously you have the sound of the creek, which is very nice. You can jump in. A lot of people come here and celebrate their 4th of Julys here. They'll hang out in the creek, hang out on the grass. It's just like a nice place to cool off. That's still downtown. We're in central Boulder here. It's great. You've got a playground over there, and you'll often see people sometimes walking their dogs, but biking up and down, because this connects to the Boulder Path, which runs along the creek. And then you've got a path here which goes up into some central Boulder neighborhoods and then up the hill. A lot of people will do 4th of July here, in big part because it's so much cooler than some of the other areas in Boulder. You've got bathrooms over there. Just kind of pretty standard park, but I actually myself like to come film here a lot because it's usually so lush and so green, because the creek has hydrated the entire area. But like, look at this great big beautiful tree. This is something that's really great about Central Boulder that you actually don't get a whole lot of in South Boulder or even areas of North Boulder, is these really big, great old trees. It's something you don't get a lot of in Colorado in general compared to, say, like the Northeast, which is where I'm from, or the Midwest. And yeah, I mean, there's something really special about big old trees, I think, like, you know, something about time and the way they like bring you back. I mean, everything in the Northeast outside of Manhattan, of course, just kind of moves slower in general. And I think a big part of that is because living up there, like, time moves slower when you're surrounded by old forests, stone walls that were built when the first people who found the country, you know, were here. And there's something about time that like just makes everything slow down out there. I don't know. So for me, like, big trees, they kind of make me feel like home. I often like reflect on time and on, you know, my own past and things like that. You know, you think about how many things a tree like this has seen. You know, it's like crazy to think about how long it's been here. Especially in a place like Colorado where everything is so new and it's constantly changing, and, you know, everything is glass and steel and concrete, and I think there's like a distinct lack of history, or at least like historical feeling, not just like literal history. I mean, obviously there's history here, but like that feeling of time that's associated with places that have rich histories is something that I feel like is lacking here because it's relatively newly developed. But and constantly changing. So I think like old trees are kind of the last bastion we have, you know, as these sort of, they're true relics, you know, of the past. I don't know. Maybe a little too philosophical for for a video on Boulder, Colorado, but you know, these are the things I kind of think about when I come to these certain parks. Very nice, intimate space. The only thing about Eben Park is that you can hear the road over there, which kind of stinks. Especially for me as someone, I really like having quiet, just like peace, which is why I really like North Boulder Park. It's really quiet there. South Boulder in general, very quiet. But here you can still hear the main road over here that goes up the canyon. But let's get going to downtown. It's the last day of my cut, so I still can't have ice cream today. So we might come back in a few days here and get ice cream. All right, so we're back here on West Pearl, and quite the difference. It's Saturday. It's not even as busy as it'll probably get. It's only midday. It's like 2 o'clock. But so that's West Pearl, right? These are all those restaurants we saw, Salt and Bar Taco and all that. And then here's the actual strip, which we're gonna walk down. You can see it's just absolutely like totally packed with people. So that's pretty cool. It's like a nice energy hopping today. Oh my God. I haven't been down, well, I shouldn't say that. I've actually come down to Pearl a few times, but I don't know. Boulder's just a place where, maybe it's because I don't get out too much, but like every time I come out in Boulder, it feels like kind of like the first time a little bit. It's just always really special. So this is new. I actually haven't seen them set something like this up before in a long time. This is like pottery, little crafts and stuff. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Dang, there's so many people here. It's funny because the population of the city has grown too, and even like at its busiest, Pearl Street feels busier than it used to 10 years ago. Maybe it's just me. They also, 10 years ago, they also never did stuff like this, I don't think. They would never like have these vendors like right in the middle there. So that's kind of cool. So it feels a little more packed too because of that. Kind of keeps people in specific lanes. But man, I'm hawking for some ice cream, bro. I finished my cut, I dropped. I'm telling, since we're walking, I'm just gonna tell you guys, you're gonna learn a little bit about Chris. But I dropped 15 pounds, 14.8 pounds in 45 days, about 6 weeks. No strength loss, which is great. So it was like really mostly fat and, you know, obviously some like glycogen and stuff like that, water weight. But yeah, okay, this is like, they never used to do this. Look at all these. This is so cool. So it definitely makes it feel more crowded just because there's less people occupying that space, but that's pretty cool. It makes me wonder if there's something like going on. So near the end of that cut, I was on like 1,300 calories a day intake, which if you know much about like calorie intake, it's like very aggressive. I was getting kind of loopy, but I'm back now. I'm eating like just about at maintenance before I start my bulk, which is a calorie surplus. And so I'm just gonna have a week or two, just kind of enjoy myself a little bit, chill out, let my body adjust, and eat some ice cream. Oh my God, oh wow, we're already here. This is the Häagen-Dazs right here. Should we get ice cream or should we walk? You know, let's walk for a little bit. I'll show you guys that downtown strip I was talking about. Oh, well, now the lights can't walk. No, the light's red. I'll show you guys that downtown, that central area, and then we'll come back. And when we come back, then we'll get ice cream and we'll sit down somewhere and kind of chill out. I'll talk to you a little bit, tell you a little bit give you a little bit of the Boulder lore, some history. We're also actually, something I didn't mention a while back is you saw how green Chautauqua was. That is so abnormal. It's usually all like straw golden hay color around this time of year along with everything else. But we've had such an unusually rainy summer, which has been great because we always need the moisture out here. It's so dry. But it's kind of a treat for you guys because usually this late in the summer, it's all very gold, which is still nice in itself. But man, like when it's so lush and green, that's my favorite. Chautauqua and just Boulder in general. It's just like so nice. Man, look, there's vendors everywhere. What is happening? This is so crazy. It never used to be this packed full of vendors. I don't know what's going on. It's like causing traffic jams. I'll show you a street performer. Pretty cool. Oh, pirate dude, Jack Sparrow looking dude, making balloons. I'm having so much fun. This is so much fun. I'm surprised. I should do this every weekend for you guys. My God, I can't believe. And this is like the perfect time of year, right? Summertime. Get outside, make some fun videos. Look at this. These are pretty cool, huh? Oh, here's a street performer where they normally are. I'll show you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys had fun. Scream yeah. Yeah. If you're gonna tip me 20, scream yeah. Thank you, Boulder kids. Okay. Everyone, please do me one final favor and clap with me. Here we go, guys. Here we go.
Pretty cool. So that's cool, you know, this dude's like doing a little, what is he doing? You know, he's like standing, like it's just a street performer, right? So we have people doing that. That's always cool. Gathers a crowd. You know, they'll usually get like kids involved from the crowd or something. So it's fun. You know, your kid gets to do something fun or weird. Now, this is where we are right now. This moment is that main strip, guys. Take a look. See all the people, all the vendors? Isn't that crazy? A little bit different from when we were here on Sunday morning. But you can see it really fills out. You can really feel, it's funny, I know it seems weird, like, the reason I sound so shocked is because, again, as someone who's been here for 10 years, which isn't that long, I can like feel the increase in population, you know, I can like feel the tourism, but not in a bad way. I mean, everyone's got good energy. It's cool, you know. Oh wow, look at that. There's also, as there is anywhere in any crowded city or main area, there's kind of grifters. So that guy, you might have seen, he hands out books to you. He says, he kind of offers you, he says, oh, here's this book. I got these free books for you or whatever. And he gives you the book, but then he like tries to guilt trip you into giving him a donation for the book. And he says he's like a monk, which is not true, or he's not like with a monastery or anything. It's just some kind of, it's just a grifter. And so you got to watch out for those things, especially if you're just coming and visiting as a tourist, because like, ain't nothing free, man. So, you know, when those people happen, don't cave to them, man. They'll get kind of pissy, but they don't ever like do anything really bad. You just have to walk away. But best just avoid them altogether, you know. So, yeah, I think we should go back and get ice cream. That's kind of really what I wanted to show you. This block is that main strip again. And so here is, that's Avanti up there. So you can see that rooftop. See that rooftop way up there? You can see some guys up there. That's Avanti. And yeah, you've got like more artists and all this stuff. There's, oh wow, this is new, this is cool. So this is the street, right? Obviously you guys can tell it's like an actual street. And they've closed down the street over there. This is something they did not used to do at all. This is new. The city's clearly trying to make some money from it, and I don't blame them. I mean, why not? Again, the people of Boulder are really like on board with that. We're like, I think most people here generally feel like, yeah, like shut down more streets, just make it more open. It's better that way. I'm gonna go around the side. Sorry. Okay. Whew. I feel like I just stepped out of a I feel like I just stepped out of like a storm or something. My goodness, you just 2 feet to the side behind the tents and suddenly it's all super chill. Oh my goodness. Okay, cool. So off to Häagen-Dazs. Oh, I can taste it already. We need to just speed ahead, time lapse ahead to when I get ice cream. But before we do, Here you can see another street performer actually setting up. Wow, that's a nice painting. Cool. We're gonna go in here actually. I want to show you guys the Savannah Bee Company. This place is pretty cool. Cool. Sorry. Sorry. So these guys have been around for a long, long time. See that? This is all like honey. They have honey stuff. They have mead. So that's pretty cool, right? I mean, they literally have like, they have hot sauces, they have like body care products, soaps and stuff like that. It's kind of crazy. Plants a bee garden. It's pretty cool. Isn't that cool? Raw honeycomb. I love that they come in those like little, almost like wine bottles. They're very pretty. If you guys like this video, let me know and I can make another one where we actually will go up to Avanti, that rooftop. I'll give you a view down below of the street. That'll be pretty cool. Okay, now we're going to Häagen-Dazs. It's crowded in here. Oh. They've got Usher playing. I'm gonna have to find a way to mute that so I don't get copyright struck on this video. Hello. I'll be a second. What do you guys think? Bro, I'm hawking for some straight vanilla. Can I get a regular vanilla with, in a cup with, let's do sprinkles. Rainbow sprinkles? Thank you. I'm a child, okay? I'm a child. Leave me alone. This is a business expense, by the way, guys. You tell my CPA that this is this is for work.
Tag us so we can sing ourselves?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, Lindsay.
It's just it's just like a small vlog for Boulder channel. It's not like a big thing, but
Dude,
sure. Yeah.
we always get so excited.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. You guys have been here forever, so it's awesome. I have a question for you. I haven't been to Pearl in a little bit.
Yeah.
Am I tripping, or is there like way more vendors than there used to be?
This is an arts festival. This is like a special day.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm like, what is happening?
This
I'm
weekend is
like,
a very special weekend. This weekend is one of the busiest weekends of the year.
really?
Due to Pearl Street Arts Fest.
Art Fest. It's Art Fest. Oh my God, that's it. I was like, what's happening? It's everywhere.
your name?
Chris.
Lindsay.
Nice to meet you,
Thanks
Lindsay.
for coming.
Yeah, thank you. How nice. She's so cool. Thank you. Where do I can take you down there. Okay, we've got our ice cream. Oh my God, my hair's out of control too. So it's Art Fest while we're waiting. That's what's going on. It's not just again. So apparently I don't live here anymore. I totally forgot. It's Art Fest. That's why there's vendors everywhere. That's why that extra street was closed down. So this is like unusually packed for Pearl Street, but it's actually kind of a cool day to come by because you guys get to see like this special weekend in Boulder here. Oh my God, too much going on. I lifted this morning too. I'm like kind of beat. Thanks, bro. Yeah, take it easy. You too. Okay, mission accomplished. Let's go find a place to sit. Oh my God. You see, I never get out and like hang out with people. It's so nice. Everyone's so nice. Okay, not super shady, but there are clouds out, so this will be the spot we'll hang out. Ah! So, oh my God, are you guys ready? This is like actually, you don't realize how special of a moment that you're witnessing here. Okay, I genuinely mean that. That is mighty fine, dude. Oh. Like, $9 or something after tip. You have to get a mortgage on this. Funny thing about Pearl Street is the reason it's so different from what it was before COVID is that Pearl Street had sort of been, there'd been kind of built up tension happening where like rents were increasing. A lot of business owners, restaurant owners had been around here for some of them a decade, some of them well over a decade. Many of them were kind of getting to the point where they're going to retire. And so when COVID happened, that was kind of their perfect moment where they're like, all right, well, like we're kind of going down here, like time, like that's it, time to call it in. And so the reason I know that is because I worked at one of these places. I worked at Tahona Tequila Bistro, which was open for, I want to say, about 15 years before it closed. And I left there, I think, a couple years before it ended up closing because of COVID, or something, a few years. But so that's part of why Pearls kind of has a really different identity after COVID, which, you know, if you've lived around here a long time, that's very noticeable to you. If you haven't, it's not noticeable. But kind of an interesting facet. I do think, especially walking around again, really soaking it in. You know, sometimes I come to Pearl, but usually I'm like, maybe I'm doing something, I'm going somewhere, I'm meeting someone. But just like hanging out and kind of soaking in, it's definitely does have a new form of life, but there definitely is life, you know, in that there's vitality in that life. And so, you know, it's great. It's like great seeing people out walking around. Everyone's so friendly. The owner of that Häagen-Dazs came up to me. She was like, hey, like, what's up? You know, obviously I'm walking around with this big camera, so they're like interested, but in like what's going on. But she was super friendly. She was like, oh, what's up? Like, we just kind of chatted for a little bit. Really, really nice. The dude at the counter, super nice. Like, people are just cool here, you know? And that's not just because I have a camera, you know? That's like, I mean, the owner came up to me because I have a camera, but like, that's the way people are here. Oh, dude, this is so nice and cold too. I was afraid this was gonna like get warm and just like melted immediately, but this is so cold. Man. I don't even want to turn the camera off, because if I do, I'll have to go back to my desk. You know, it's just like, I think a lot of people come to Boulder and they think about, they get kind of, you know, reasonably upset about, you know, paying $1 million or $2 million for a house that isn't like that impressive. But then they move in and they live here and they come out and enjoy things like this, and they suddenly like get it. They're like, oh, I get it. I see why it's so expensive. And I also see why it's worth it still being so expensive, you know? Well, I guess that's it, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. For those of you who stuck around, if you're interested in moving to Boulder, write me an email. I've got my email in the description. Be happy to help you out or get you connected with the right people at my office. But yeah, man, that's it. What a beautiful place.